Welcome back to another episode of the Miracle Marketing Podcast, where we bring you interviews from business owners, celebrity guests, and hot topics. I am your host, Brandon Adams, along with my co-host, super producer, Big Perry. Welcome back to the show, my brother.
Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. All right,
Good.
everybody, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, send us an email to a miraclepodcast at gmail.com. On today's show, we have a very special guest. Been knowing this man for a while. He's doing big things. He's got some upcoming comedy shows. You may have seen him in a lot of different movies. And we want to welcome, without further ado, my boy, Mr. Rodney Perry. Welcome to the show, Mr. Rodney Perry. How are you today?
Man, Brandon, man, thank you so much for having me, man. Big P, how you feeling, baby?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. How about yourself?
My guy, very good, very good.
Yes, sir.
So, Rodney, you've been doing this thing for a minute. You've been doing comedy, and I know you hail from Chicago, where a lot of great comedians come
Southside,
from.
yeah.
All right, Southside Chicago. So, tell our viewers how you got started in the comedy world.
Oh man, wow. Just the very beginning, watching Saturday Night Live,
Okay.
going on my cousin's house to spend the night on the weekend, and we sit there and watch Saturday Night Live, and I saw Eddie Murphy, and
Mm,
I was like, that's it, that's what I am. I didn't know what I was. And then when I saw him, I was like, yo, that's it. And then, of course, many years later, I would get opportunity to work in a movie with him, and things like that. So it's been a like a great journey.
so, were you a clown growing up in school?
Yes and no. I mean, when you from Chicago, everybody funny.
Okay.
Everybody funny. Your
Okay.
teacher funny, your uncle funny, your grandmama funny. You can get roasted any given day by a grown up, as a kid.
Mm,
And so I was always funny, but there were guys that were funny to me. Jeffrey Lightning was funny to me,
mm.
but he would never get up and do it in front of strangers, which is another gift.
How did you hone your craft as far as when you first got started? What would you say your first big break was?
Touring with the great George Lopez.
Okay.
One of my first big moments. George asked me to go on tour with him, and it wasn't no glamorous tour. It was
Hmm.
like, hey, dog, I want you to come work with me in Dallas, but you got to get yourself there. So I got on a bus from LA to Dallas, Texas, took a bus, and then so I get to Dallas, I get into Texas, right? San
Hmm.
Antonio area. Some kind of way I transferred to a local bus. So I went through every little bitty town in Texas.
And that's a big state.
Oh, they was delivering mail, all kind of stuff, man. I was like, man, I gotta get off this damn bus. I ain't rode a bus since.
I don't blame you. Perry on?
I, I went through your discography, man. You have a catalog of movies that you've been in. How
I
was
want
it,
to say I think it's around 90 some, 95 some different movies.
man? That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
That
man.
means that you stay working, and that's beautiful. How is it different from being a comedian, a stand-up comedian, to you transitioning to being on film?
Well, it's a big difference, man. And what I noticed when I was a young buck in comedy, all the guys that was working was also actors. So Guy Torrey and Bill Bellamy, those guys, they were actors as well. And
Hmm.
so I was like, yo, I need to get an acting class. So I took acting class with Tasha Smith, and she gave me some tools that I still use to this day. And you know, it's a different discipline. It's a whole different animal, but it has kept me relevant through a career. Like people know me. I mean, people are like y'all are real fans and y'all know me from comedy, but most people know me from movies. Johnson Family Vacation, My Dear's Big Happy Family, To Be Somewhere, you know, and so that stuff has kept me relevant 30 years.
That's
That's great.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Did you? I've seen an interview with a lot of different comedians, and they would all talk about their route to being to becoming established. How they would all go to the different laugh houses and try out their jokes and stuff like that.
For sure.
How hard is that to come up with new material, then go try it? And do you worry a lot about bombing, or is
I
just
mean, you
practice
can't worry,
going?
you can't worry about that a whole lot. I mean, it happens. It can happen to the best of us, you
Yeah.
know. But the reality is, it's like going to the gym. You know, you go to the gym to get your workout on, and that strengthens your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And so, whether it's an open mic somewhere, now bombing is a whole nother animal. Because bombing could happen because of the moment. It could happen because of the people. Most of the time, it's as a professional, it's your fault because there's always something as a comedian you can do to kind of subvert the bomb. But some people will tell you, "I ain't no bomb," but they just got off the stage early. If you get off before motherfuckers start booing, you just got off early. You was gonna get booed. And the work in the black comedy world is not a game, man. You know, black people won't they need to laugh.
Yeah.
And if you not make me laugh, I'm mad. And I will let you know. Dog, talk about the Apollo Theater. Dude, they be outside warming up to boo you. Boo, 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 boo.
I believe it.
Not a game.
So that's crazy. Do you do a lot of stand up? I mean, like open mics. Do you go to a lot of different?
Well, I got like here in Atlanta, I go to Cat's Cafe, which is a historic venue. We've been doing open mics there since I got here. It's one of the places I work out at, and that's my gym.
Okay.
You know, so I go there. I might go there every Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
or I might go 2 Tuesdays out the month. So I'm always kind of working out. Or like if I go to a city that I ain't never been to, I'm gonna get on that stage in that city just to see what the city feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always working out though. I'm always working out.
But one more.
So you work out so when they pay you, it's better.
Yeah.
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 Almost definitely.
How has social media affected the stand up comedy?
You know what? That's a great question. So, how do I put this? Comedy is still comedy. Like, what's funny is still funny. Like, y'all as an audience, y'all consuming it because you consume it. You like comedy. But how you get famous has changed. See, when I was coming up, you had to get on TV or a movie. And you had to. You had to move out to LA, you had to get part of that scene, or you had to move to New York to be a part of that scene. And now you get famous right here from your phone.
Pretty much.
You literally got a portal to the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this group of comedians got more power than we had. You know, because they're walking in with an audience. Imagine at your junior level in the game that, I mean, you just starting and you got 100,000 fans. That changed everything.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see a lot of social media influencers who did skits during the pandemic and got hot, and now they're out on the road doing stand up.
Yeah, it's not as many of them as you think either. And I was telling my buddies today because a lot of the old school comics like myself be complaining about the social media comedians. I'm like, dude, if you keep going on stage and being funny, you're gonna figure it out, just like we did.
Mm-hmm.
So how you got in the game don't matter. Now it's incumbent upon people like Rodney Perry to figure this out, to do a podcast, to put funny stuff on my Instagram, to open up my TikTok page, do live videos, all that. All that's part of it now because you got to take advantage of your opportunity, and that's touching the world.
That's true. Rodney, I've been knowing you for a minute now. Every time I run into you, you've always done something different. From when I used to go to your comedy shows, from even having some of my clients as guests on your radio show.
Wow.
You've touched on a little bit of everything. You've done radio, you've done comedy, acting, even different events when I used to go to in Atlanta. You've
Yeah.
even been the host of some of the award shows and different things. And one thing I can always say about you, every time we've always been together, you're very humble, very down to earth, which I always appreciate. Which one do you like doing more? Do you like hosting events, radio, comedy, or acting?
I'm a comedian first.
Okay.
I'm a comedian first. And, you know, it says in the Bible that your gifts will make room for you. So we are all gifted. You might have 10 different gifts. You might play the piano. You might, so we see a guy like Jamie Foxx, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a perfect example of a guy with many gifts. But his stand-up is what led him down the rest of those paths. I started directing this past year. That thing is the most fun, most thing I enjoy as much as stand-up directing. Mm-hmm. But I'm still a comedian though. And people treat you as such. People treat you like who you are.
And to touch on directing, you talked about earlier offline that you have a new film coming out. Tell our viewers a little bit about your film that's coming out, what they can look forward to that.
It's called Deceitful Lies. And I was on set of another movie, right? Independent film. And the producer, people are always going to ask you, what else you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
Or people will ask you inevitably this. They'll go, how can I help you? Mm-hmm. And the best, where I've maybe failed in my career once or twice, is I didn't have an answer to that. You must have an answer to that question. When you get presented, no matter what your goal is, when the people that want to help you say, hey man, how do I help you? You got to have an answer right now. And so she asked me, she's like, Rodney, what do you want to do? I said, I like to direct one day. She said, maybe you could direct one of my movies one day. And 5 months later, she called me. And I was on the set directing a film, man. And like you said, I've been in 95 movies. I never directed, but I felt like I could do it. And it was an incredible experience, bro.
Is that something that you see yourself doing more?
Oh, definitely. They got good checks over there, too, in the director world.
Okay. All right. Are you ever going to...
I like that director check.
Are you ever going to write, produce, and do everything totally where it's like one of the R. Kelly, Tyler Perry, Prince things where it's directed, filmed, shot, wrote by Rodney Perry?
I mean, maybe someday, but I like to focus my energy. And so when I'm directing, I try not to act. When I'm doing comedy, I try not to do, radio, and so your gifts, will make room for themselves, but at the same time, I try to focus when I'm really locked in.
Okay. Perry, huh?
As far as directing, when can a brother? I need to come to some casting calls or something. I want to act too.
Hey, but dude, you know the guy. Like this movie, I had people, my friends, hit me up, and I really didn't see. This is the thing about the game. Mm-hmm. Everybody don't have the juice.
Yeah,
like it's people with the job that ain't got no juice. Like it's people inside the party that can't get you in.
Yeah,
true.
It's people that you might call to vouch for you that can't vouch for. They barely in themselves. And so for me, depending on who we talking about, the situation, like I couldn't get nobody on this movie because it was already cast. Mm-hmm. But if I'm in from the beginning and we talk, I had your ass on set.
What do y'all look? What do you look for our audience? What do you look for? Is it just an image, or I mean, I understand everything got to fit the scene and the character that you're looking for, but there are a lot of people who feel they can act, but they may not have the image.
Well, you know what? I was talking about this with my buddy today. A lot of times actors take it personal when they don't book something, but you can't take it personal because you don't know what they're looking for. Mm-hmm. I might go in there and the producer had in mind a light skinned guy. Guess what Rodney Perry is not? Light skinned. So that in itself might get me sent home. So everything, there's 1,000 things to get you booked and 1,000 things to get you turned away. And so you just gotta go in, do the work, and be good, and let it go. It's like a DB getting burnt. Like every time you're not gonna book everything, but every once in a while you'll catch a pick and take it to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Did you take any classes for acting, or it's just?
Oh, definitely. I studied with Tasha Smith, and I know Tasha Smith from all the movies and stuff. Well, she had an acting class. Well, it's like big now. It's national now, but back in the day, myself, Chris Spencer, I was in a class with Flavor Flav, believe it or not.
I've run into Flavor a lot out here in Vegas.
Dog, this was Flavor Flav. This is right before he got the Flavor of Love. He was in the class with us, and he was a good actor too.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So Rodney, your story is kind of similar to Earthquake's, because Earthquake, I was in the Marines or Army, one of
Air
them.
Force, he's an Air Force guy.
Air Force. You're a Navy guy, and both of you, with hearing your story, you guys, told jokes to the sailors, him to his platoon and everything. So how did that happen with being in the Navy and kind of telling your stories to your sailors?
I mean, your profession don't change who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in the Navy, but I knew I wanted to be a comedian.
Okay.
And so you just try to get in the light.
Mm-hmm.
Try your best to get in the light. And I met my best friend Harry Ratchford, who he and I became a comedy team early on. He was my roommate in the Navy, and we just crack jokes all day. He was funny to me. And I met him, and he now writes for Kevin Hart.
Nice.
And travels around the country with Kev.
If you could put together a comedy tour,
okay,
you're the headliner.
Okay.
Give me 3 to 4 comedians that you would love to have on your show that you put together.
All right. So if I blow up tomorrow,
you already blown up.
I get to go on tour with whoever I want.
Whoever you want.
My good friend Marvin Hunter, fabulous comedian Marvin H, man. We just become friends, man. All the people I'm gonna pick is gonna be my friends.
Okay.
I need a girl. That girl will probably be, goodness gracious. Who do I really like? Oh, what's her name? God damn it, it slipped my mind.
Is she one of the queens?
Andromeda Jones. Her name. Her Instagram is One Act Drama.
Okay.
One Act Drama. I love her comedy. So I guess 2. I probably have 2 more. JJ Williamson.
Okay.
If he would come with me, I would love to have him with me. And probably one of my boys that need a break. Like my buddy out of Philly, Scooter. Scooter need a break, and I would love to be the one to give it to him.
For sure.
But I would probably be more like Cat than Kevin Hart. I probably have different people every year.
Okay. So bring different comedians on.
Every year I'm picking 4 more guys, 4 more people.
Would they be up and coming comedians, or would they be seasoned comedians already?
They'll be my friends. If you ain't my friend, you ain't going. No, because you gotta, like I tell cats all the time, hey Rodney, can you show me this? I'm like, nigga, be my friend first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be my friend, and naturally, I'm gonna think of you when stuff come up.
Right. Most definitely. Perry on.
And you enjoy the road better with people that you vibe with.
You already know. You don't want to be out there with somebody. You be like, man, I would be glad when somebody hit her with a car.
Now when I was looking at your videos and your discography, I noticed one thing that sets you and a few other comedians apart. Y'all be some fly dressing brothers, man. Wow. Like what
Very kind, P. Appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like y'all put it on and stuff. Like what is that? I know most people is their character. That's just what they do. But is that something that you wanted to be known for when you got on stage and
Yes
in the
and
lights?
no. I mean, I'm part of the era, the suit era.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm a tail end of Steve and Sid now. So back in the day when I was touring with Sid the Entertainer or Steve Harvey, you couldn't come no less than that. But over the years, that's changed, and you don't have to wear suits, but you got to be fly.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's a hat, whether you got a nice jacket on, some kind of way, you got to be fly. I tell young comics, look, you ain't got to dress like me, but you should be the best dressed man in the room.
Yeah.
If you're on the stage, people pay their money to see you. So, yeah, am I naturally fly? I think so. You know, I'm from the Midwest. You know, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit. We know how to dress.
For sure.
Rodney,
That's dope.
every time I usually run into you, 9 times out of 10, you mostly have a hat on. Do you have a hat collection?
I do not. I've been trying to get in the hat business for a few years. I don't know how to get hats wholesale.
Okay.
That's my thing right now. Cause like this hat, this is a Stetson, but this hat, this is an inexpensive hat. It's like $100.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where to get it for 30.
So you hear it first on the Miracle Marketing Podcast. My boy Rodney Perry is looking for a hat endorsement sponsorship. If you guys are out there, make sure you hit my boy up, Rodney Perry, get him a hat line. You heard it first on our show.
And that's I'm glad you mentioned that too, because that's part of the business. You know, like you have to figure that out. Like over a career, you know, I developed merchandise. I've had everything from hoodies to T-shirts to little bottles. I had all kind of stuff over the years. My best merchandise that I sell on the road is my book though. Like I wrote a book almost 6 years ago. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Tell us about your book.
I wrote a book like 6 years ago, man, and it's called Rodney Perry Moments on My Journey, and it's just all these cool little stories about my life. And man, it'll cost me $2 to get $2 a book, right, to buy it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can sell it for 20 to 25 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my highest markup item I got.
You shouldn't have said that.
Hey, they know I'm making some money.
They can't buy it at the cost anyway that you get it.
Well, they can go on Amazon and get it for $14.99.
Yeah.
If you get it from me, it's gonna be 25.
Yeah. Plus you signed it, so they got your autograph and your signature on it. So that's
I don't guarantee no signature. If you ask me, if you walk away, you gone.
Okay.
You ask me, I do it.
All right.
Yeah, they getting it from the man, so it make it
want a picture.
worth
People
more.
want a picture. People want pictures more than autographs nowadays, though.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Perry, go ahead.
So as far as like the hat collection, we're gonna try to see if we can figure that one out. See if we know some people. You know what I'm saying? That can
thank you, P. Thank you, bro. What you wear? 7 and 5/8?
This an 8 right here.
An 8?
Yeah, man. I got.
Well, you got some dog piece up under that hat, boy.
lot of head, man. So,
yeah, that's what the ladies say too.
Only one, my wife. That's the only one.
Hey, she better be.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but it's beautiful, man, to see a legacy and the length of time that you've been doing it, and the things that you've accomplished, not only as a comedian, an actor, a director, a businessman. It's beautiful to see Black men accomplishing things. And I know a lot of times everybody don't know our story, where we came from, and the struggles and the different things that we had to the hurdles we had to jump over. Sometimes it takes 10, 20 years just to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable?
I try not to be comfortable, man. I try to stay thankful.
Yes.
And I'm absolutely thankful, man. I mean, I made my living telling jokes. I done put kids through colleges. I done bought cars and houses. I done lived a great life. If it all end tomorrow, God don't owe me nothing. You know, I've traveled the world. I've been everywhere. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Europe. I've been to Asia. I've been all over the world telling jokes. So, you know, I try to be in a perpetual state of thankfulness, man, because God liked me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because you're a humble dude.
Yeah.
I
Thankfulness
don't
is
even be
the
trying to be
key.
humble though. I don't like humble.
No, you good dude. Even though
I take
you
good
from
dude.
the
I take good dude.
you from the shy, you know, most people from the shy be, you know, and you my boy Rodney be always be cool every time you see him.
Well, yeah, I mean, that go with being fly.
Hmm.
You
It
can't
all
be
go together.
fly.
It all go together, gentlemen.
Yeah, them two, they go hand to hand. Cool and fly. That's the
Hey,
way,
if you
man.
keep
That's how
going
you
to sleep
put
and waking
together.
up, you'll get this white stuff on your face.
Hey, yeah, I know that's right. I know that's right.
So Rodney,
Man,
Rodney, tell us about some of your upcoming shows. Where you gonna be at?
yeah,
I'm in Bowie, Maryland this weekend with my buddy Joe Claire and B Flat and Larry Lancaster. That's my next thing up, dude. To be honest, B, I I I've been to work every weekend since January 15th,
Wow.
and I asked God. I said, God, I want to be busy, booked and busy, and I've been booked and busy, man. And you know, my next request to God is like, let's sell all these shows out. You know, right now we do pretty good, you know, but you can start to really write your own ticket when you're selling a bunch of tickets.
When you coming to Vegas?
I don't know, man. I used to come to Vegas for this girl, Sunshine. She calls no Sparkle.
Mhm.
The lady named Sparkle. I used to come to Vegas for her. I haven't been to Vegas in years, man. I don't know who booking anything in Vegas right now. So I
Oh,
need to do research. I need to get, you know, for my life, I'm usually fielding calls, and so you know, somebody called one day, be like, "Hey, come to Vegas."
well, maybe I need to put something like that together. Get something with you
Hey,
house
say the
back
word.
here.
If y'all got money, I'll come.
All right. All right. I got your number. I'll hit you up.
Yes, sir.
Barry, huh?
I wanted to ask you one more question. Are there any young comedians that you got your eye on that you would like to work with?
I like a lot. I like a lot of the guys out there. I like Marcus Harvey, fabulous young comedian. I
That's a
like Desi
good dude.
Banks. I like Desi Banks. I like Country Wayne. I
Mhm.
like a Rod Minger, one of my buddies, man.
Mhm.
And they don't have to be young, you know, like the young lady I told y'all about, one act drama. She a grown woman, but she just funny to me. Or my girl that just rocked with me in Indianapolis, Sherelle Pierce out of Chicago, very funny. Great special just hit the street. My girl Jess Niche got her special that just hit the street. Awesome special. And I'll be shooting a comedy special this year too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. No. Perry,
Well,
you need to put some of your music in Rodney's shows.
You know what I'm
hey
saying? Some
P, we need you,
movies.
baby.
And look, I do radio imaging too.
Okay.
Yeah, I got, you know what I'm saying?
Let
I
me
do your
let me
station
find out.
ID.
I like that.
Yes. Yeah. All right, Rodney. Well, we're gonna get up out of here. In the meantime, before we get up out of here, I want you to tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can check out your upcoming movie that you directed. And you know, anytime you got anything coming up, we definitely want to have you back on. Hit me
Yeah, I
up.
love it. Thank you so much, Brandon, man. Appreciate it. Mr. P, appreciate you,
Yes, sir.
sir. So
Thank you.
Rodney Perry live on all social media. I'm easy to find. A brand new podcast on the street called Comedy and Crime. and that is my foray into true crime. And we just finishing our first season, and so I'm excited about that. And just keep working, man. You know, shows coming down the street, down the pipe. You go to the website RodneyPerry.com, find out all things Rodney Perry.
All right. Rodney, appreciate you as always.
The great Richard Pryor over my shoulder.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We gonna look forward to giving you out here in Vegas. You got you in the other cities, gotta get you out west.
Say no more. Say no more.
All right, man. Always good to hear from you. Take care. Be safe out there on the road. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you check Rodney Perry out. P, holler at you.
All right, bro. Be good out there in Vegas now.
All right.
All right.
Rambo!
Take care, everybody.